Hello, my name is Michael Timmons. I am the author of the Lycanwar Saga and the Shards of the Coven series. I'm also the organizer for the Writer's Block Author Fair, which is held here in Toledo, Ohio. Today, we're going to answer the most important question that's on everybody's minds. Do you like it hard or do you like it soft? Magic systems, people. Magic systems. Get your minds out of the gutter. But first, please, if you're enjoying this video or if you enjoy my videos, please like and subscribe and click on the notification bell so that you can get updates for whenever I release a new video. So as I said, do you like it hard? Do you like it soft? How do you like your magic systems? That's what we're going to talk about today. There are two types, for the most part, of magic systems within the fantasy genre. We have the hard magic systems, and we have the soft magic systems. There's also a little gray area in between that kind of takes a little bit from both. But we're going to ignore that for now. We're going to talk about just the two. So the first one, hard magic system. Why is it called hard magic system? The reason why it's called hard magic system is because a hard magic system has strict rules to how it works. What I mean by that is, for the most part, you know where that magic comes from. You know how they are going to use that magic. And lastly, you know what that magic is going to do. A very good example of this is Brandon Sanderson. He typically uses hard magic systems within his books. A good example would be the Mistborn series. So, what in the Mistborn series, they do, which is called allomancy. They ingest metals, and each of these metals, depending on what type of metal it is, has a very specific effect. So they ingest the metal. It has something that they're able to do once they ingest that metal, and then they can use it in different ways, but usually it's the same result. So for example, there's a metal that allows you to push metal. So what you can do is, after ingesting it, you could take a metal coin and you can push that away from you with magic. There's another metal that does the opposite. So you can use that to pull yourself towards that metal. So we know where the magic comes from. It's from ingesting the metal. We know what happens when you ingest that metal, and we know what the result is. Obviously, there's different things you can be able to do when you're pushing things. Like they use it to, when they push out the metal, they can also push themselves up because the pressure from pushing creates force out if that object is mobile. So there are different ways that the result of using that magic plays out within the system, but there's very strict rules on how that magic system is and what happens when you use it. Now, on the flip side, we have soft magic system. Now, a very good example, well, first, soft magic, basically, there's very few rules and they're not explained very well. Now, often, how this usually works out is that usually the main character isn't a magic user. Not very often does the magic user or main magic person that uses magic that doesn't understand the rules of the game and knows how their magic works. So usually when you're getting that POV from the magic user, you usually have a pretty good understanding of how the magic works, what the rules are. But that's not always the case. a good example of soft magic would be Song of Ice and Fire by George R. R. Martin. We know that there's magic within the world. We see what happens when the Red Witch uses magic. We believe it comes from her god, but we're not really sure. And we don't always know what's going to happen when she uses her magic. Usually just she uses it and there's a result. We don't know how she's using it or what happens or why it happens or what's going to happen each time she uses magic. It's like you see her about to use magic, you can't say, oh, she's doing this, so there's going to be a fireball, or she's doing this, so she's going to light all the torches. We don't know. We have no idea. It just happens. So this type of magic system is very effective in when you're writing, so that you can make it work within your story for you. A prime example of this would be like Harry Potter. A lot of times within the Harry Potter series, when they come up against some problem that they need a solution for, magic. We don't know. It was never explained to us before that they'd be able to do this. They just can't all of a sudden. And sometimes they need to say a magic word. Sometimes they don't to use the magic, and we don't understand why they don't sometimes and why they do other times. We don't really know. So those are some examples for different types of magic. Now, in my book, and yes, shameless plug, Shards of the Coven series. The first book is Prelude to the Shards, which you can get on Amazon. I'll put the link down below. I actually have 3 separate types of magic. 3 types. I have 3 systems within the book. I have aspect magic, essence magic, and blood magic. Now, aspect magic, for the most part, all of these are soft magics. There's not a whole lot of explanation as to how they work, but there are rules to them. So this is kind of that gray area where it kind of falls in between the two. So like aspect magic, that magic is only available to the witches of the coven, and those are witches that rule the land. And each witch has a certain aspect. So there's a witch of earth, there's a witch of air, there's a witch of time, there's a witch of flora, there's a witch of fauna. Sorry. So each of those witches have a certain aspect of nature that they have control over, and all of their magic is aspect specific. So, witch of fire, you can get your fireballs, create walls of fire. Witch of air can do gusts of wind, or you get the idea. And each witch only has the ability to use their specific aspect. So they have limitations, which is very important in a soft magic system. You need limitations. Whereas hard magic, you need rules, specific rules. So this is how the magic works, and you stay consistent with that throughout your book or your series. Soft magic, which doesn't have rules, instead has limitations. That's how it makes it so it's not something that can just work whenever you want it to work and just be a solution for any problem at any given time, because you can just magic your way out of anything. So for the aspect magic, the limitation is one witch has each aspect, control over one aspect each, and their aspect defines what their magic is, what they're able to do with it. Essence magic is magic that comes from within a person. It's their essence, their soul, their energy, their spirit, and they're able to draw on that power, that force within themselves, and they're able to use it in a outward way. They're also able to use it in an inward way. That's what I mean by that. So, an essence magic mage can use their magic to break something. They can send their energy out and shatter a vase. They can also use that energy and they can use it to heal themselves or to give an extra strength to themselves, to create more stamina for a time. They can also pass that energy by moving it outward. They can pass that energy in a healing manner to someone else so they can heal other people. They can also pass it into objects, and they were actually the ones that were able to create magic items. So that's what essence magic can do. Now that's limited because each person only has a certain amount of energy, essence, that they can use at any given time. Now there's essence savants who are able to use more energy than the average essence mage without getting tired or going unconscious, because that can happen. If you draw too much energy, you can go unconscious with essence magic. And the last magic, blood magic, that is limited by the fact that a blood mage can only use their blood or somebody else's blood to use their magic. So that's a limitation for that. So, to recap, we have hard magic and soft magic. Hard magic has very strict rules, and the main thing with hard magic is you want to be consistent within those rules. Obviously, consistency is also important with soft magic, but it's more loose because you can manipulate your soft magic system to work in ways that you didn't use before, because it doesn't matter, because you never really explained how it was used before. So if you use it for something new in a slightly different way or in a way that isn't explained, it's more believable because it's not breaking any rules. Whereas hard magic, you have rules. You don't want to break those rules. You want to remain consistent. That is the backbone for a good hard magic system. Rules and consistency. Those are the two things you want to deal with hard magic. Soft magic. No rules, or loose rules, but limitations. So that's your guidelines to having a good soft magic system. You don't have to specify specific rules. Still should remain slightly consistent. If there is something that your magic user does specifically within your story, and they're doing something like that later, it should remain consistent. If they cast X and end up with Y by using Z, then the next time they use Z, they should still end up with Y. I know I didn't do that in alphabetical order. I'm hoping you followed that. I apologize. But I was going one way, and I decided to go a different way. That's how my brain works. So it's alright. So, as I stated, with soft magic, you still want some level of consistency. But you have a lot of gray area there, a lot of room to manipulate, a lot of room to work around structure. But in your soft magic system, you should have limitations to your magic. That makes it far more interesting to the reader than having some mage that can always solve whatever problem they come up to because he can just magic it away. That's not fun to read. So, do you like it hard or do you like it soft? I'd like to know. Tell me which magic system you prefer. Either if you're an author, which magic system do you prefer to write? Or if you're a reader, which magic system do you like to read? For me, I'll be honest with you, I like to write soft magic. I do really enjoy reading hard magic and soft magic. I'm not really particular to either one. I really like Brandon Sanderson's work. I really like how the rules that he sets up for his magic, but he's really good at it. So, and I think you have to be really good at creating magic systems to really do hard magic systems well. If you're not willing to take the time to set it up in its entirety before you actually sit down and write, I wouldn't even bother trying. So, because you need to want to have those rules set up before. So, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please, as before, like this video, subscribe on this video, and hit the notification bell. Please also, as I said, tell me which magic do you like? What type do you like? Do you like it hard? Do you like it soft? Let me know in the comments down below, and I look forward to seeing you next time.